Hi Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading. So here we are connecting with the forces of the universe to receive all of those messages that are going to help you to find the clarity that you need. I always like to say that I am not your typical tarot reader, that all I do is just read the energy that is going on. And if this is the direction that you want to go, good. But if it isn't, it gives you the option to change. So normally my readings are geared to help people find the clarity they need in the present moment so that they can move through their lives in a way that suits you well. Of course, these are very general readings, so it's not going to describe every situation out there. But the answers and the options that we offer are always there to help anyone. So if for whatever reason this does not resonate with you right now, check later, check another time, and you'll see. You never know. Okay, my dear Scorpio, let's begin. So here, right now, as I look at your energy, you show up like the lamb. And I'm feeling like this is a moment, Scorpio, where in this cycle, as you're going through changes, you're starting to feel like going with the flow. It's not a time where you're not taking things to it hard. It's like you're more flexible, you're more at ease with yourself. So this is a time where you're kind of going with the flow and enjoying this cycle a bit. It's like it almost feels like, you're enjoying a lot of your social life and you're just not getting too entangled or maybe too caught up with things that you cannot resolve. So that sort of puts you in that place of maybe not taking things too seriously. Maybe you're finding now that it's not worth it. And you're just trying to get along and create ways or connections where you're showing that level of flexibility. Now, when I look at your energy, Scorpio, Capricorn shows up. So this is one of the universe's forces that are showing up in your reading. And Capricorn deals with the 10th house in astrology. And it talks about our social life. It talks about those things that we attain through work, socializing, right? Our connections. And I see here a power struggle. So we have the 5 of Wands showing some sort of conflict. On one side of the conflict, I see you, Scorpio, coming through as the King of Swords, okay? So I feel like this is more of your energy. And where I feel like right now you're in a position where you have a conflict with someone, okay? Where you don't know exactly what to do. It's like you don't know how to communicate or you don't know what choice to make in order to resolve this issue, okay? But all I know that there are moments in which you are in a, like you're guarded, like you're sort of guarding yourself, or like you are trying to figure out an option, but you don't see how, okay? As you can see, that King of Swords, vibrationally, there's stuff going on, right? Where you are somehow, you don't seem to get it, to get to a place or an emotional place where you know what to do. And at the other hand, right, and this 5 of Wands, because the number 5 we're talking about the Hierophant. This is the energy of, based on what I know, based on the lessons that I have, based on the history that I have with this person, I just don't know what to do. Okay? So, and on the other side, we see here the 9 of Wands with the 4 of Swords. And this is someone that, I don't know why I feel like Virgo comes in, right? There's a Virgonian energy here. Or somebody with the element of earth. But somebody who's in a state of, I don't know that it's waiting. I feel like this is more in a state of rest, okay? I feel like this person has an attitude where they're kind of, comfortable right now where they're at. And as a matter of fact, they're very comfortable with the decision they made. And it's like they know that the reason why they chose to behave in the way that they did or in the way that they are is because they don't want this. Okay? Here we're talking about an emotional place where they feel like either they were left out on the cold or they were not being respected or something. But they basically know that this is not what they want. So I don't know what happened between the two of you where this person feels like you either did not honor them or respected them, or I don't know. And of course, you're welcome to change the situation, right? It could have been that, they did this to you. But I'm going to read it in the way that I see it. So I feel like somehow there was some sort of conflict between the two of you where you in a way now feel like you don't know how to resolve the issue or to what option you can find to communicate, while this person is like, you know what, this is my final decision. I'm standing by it. It's like they're very clear, right? That's what they're doing. So this is what's happening in your, in the physical reality, in the material world. And this is interesting because it's what's coming in your reading. So it's got to be something important to you enough that is coming here. Now, in the next row, in the heart of the reading, I see the Magician upside down. And then in the beginning, I see Aries, okay? And this is talking about self-expression. And what I'm seeing here, Scorpio, that some of you are not... I'm going to pose a question instead of a statement. Are you paying attention to your intuition? Are you doing it enough? Because here what Spirit is saying is that some of you may be a little bit too much taken by your emotions, by this level of sensitivity around those emotions that it creates a lot of noise. And let's say enough noise that does not allow you to hear the guidance that you're receiving by the spirit world. So here Spirit is saying, hey, Scorpio, lower your emotions a little bit. Don't take things too personal, okay? Don't make things too personal. And before you respond, just kind of relax a little bit and see what your intuition is telling you. Because it's not until you get to that place where you're going to be able to hear the type of answers that they're giving you. It's not where you're not going to be able to know what to do. Because you're being guided here. With the star, you're being guided. But with the Magician being upside down, it's like they're saying, you may not be paying attention. Or maybe you're paying attention to one thing and that's not the thing to look at. Yeah, it's like you're avoiding. Or and of course, if you're not paying attention to your intuition, you don't know what to do. So here you haven't mastered the elements. And I have to say that the Scorpions are like that. Scorpions are very sensitive people. I love Scorpions, okay? So here I'm not here sitting down trying to judge you. I'm just sharing what I know as well as, as I'm describing what I feel. So you guys are very sensitive people. And you can be very social. But also, you can be sometimes so sensitive that your world, you drown yourself sometimes in that sensitivity, where it doesn't allow you to see more than that. And when you close yourself up in your own emotions, you don't see nothing more. So here I see that there is, a problem. The obstacle that you're having, why you don't know what to do or what direction to take, is because you are confused, or there's too much going on, that or there's too many emotions that does not allow you to hear the options. Now, it's interesting because the third card here, we have Mercury, okay? And Mercury deals with Virgo, which is the 6th house in astrology, but also with Gemini, which is the 3rd house. So, we could say on one side, we're talking about, how do I attain those things that I want? And the other aspect is, well, what kind of structure can I create? How can I use, right, my intuition into practicality? How can I make it work? And what the cards are showing me is that a lot of you decided to move on. So you kind of moved on, and yet you're having a difficult time with yourself because you feel like there's more to do. You feel like this person is important enough for you to not just let it go or to quit. Now, I can see that you were very clear, right? So whatever happened between the two of you, with time, you became clear that this person kind of distanced themselves. And, that was kind of the beginning of this new cycle where the two of you went separate ways. But as you moved on, you still are struggling, because here, 5 of Swords is coming to show me that you're still struggling. Okay? You're still struggling. So there is a struggle here, and it could very well be that you feel like, no, this can just be the end. Because here I see the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles in the cards is looking at this star. So you're still thinking about this person. You're still wondering about this person. And you still somehow can't believe that that situation would be the marker for this person to finally completely quit on you. I feel like there's something like that. And I don't know. Again, it could be the other way around, but I am reading it as I see it. So I'm going to continue to repeat that, because sometimes I feel like people, as they're hearing my descriptions, they're filtering through their own personal emotions, through their own personal stories. And sometimes I get emails that is like, well, did you hear my reading? Because, I'm trying to be as neutral as possible, so that you can hear the information in a positive way. Because what I want you to get out of all of this is the, options the Spirit is giving you through this time, not to get you more stuck in the whole, bubble that you're in right now, especially if it's in regards to this person, So here we can see in the heart of your reading that, as with the Magician, is upside down, where some of you are not really paying attention. And if you're not paying attention, you then do not know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, of course you're going to have a struggle trying to express yourself or how to communicate in order to, bring clarity. And yet you've moved on, but you seem to still come back to, no, something is wrong here. I don't want this to end. It just can't happen. Now, when I look at the energy of this person, the starfish, they're coming through as the starfish. And they're coming with the element of water. So I'm talking here about somebody that feels like they're quite upfront with their emotions. They seem to be very forward about the things they believe. This is somebody who can also spread themselves quite thin when they really feel, like clear about something. And something happened between the two of you, Scorpio, where something was said, something happened in the communication that made this person break away. Something was said that could just trigger, the decision of this person to say, you know what, this is about as far as I go. I feel like you guys know each other for a while. This is somebody that you knew for a long time, but there was something in the way that it was expressed that created the conflict. To the point that this person said, this is it. This is as far as I'm going to take it. And you're kind of looking at it like, really? That's all it took? After all we've gone, that's what it feels like. Like, after all we've gone through, it had to be that for you to finally say that's it? But sometimes that's what it takes, Scorpio. So, I don't know. It could also be you saying, you know what? I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. Again, you decide. So in some of you, you feel like there are times when you need to be in solitude. It's the way that you're recharging the batteries or finding clarity. That's coming with the energy of the number 4. So I feel like some of you are needing a time of solitude. Yeah, and it's in those moments where you're observing, you see, like, you're just contemplating. And if you haven't, Spirit is saying that please do. It's a way that you can renew yourself, renew your soul. It's like, taking the time by yourself is in the way that you can connect to your, higher soul or to oversoul, so that you can, sort of relax a little. Here they're also talking that maybe it's a good idea to connect with nature. Nature will help you open your heart. And also to not rush, like don't rush it. Just take it easy and, just connect with nature, do what you have to do. Now, we have here, I have to be careful because I do this in Spanish too, and sometimes my brain just shifts to Spanish and I forget that the video is in English and I start talking in Spanish. It's kind of weird, but it does happen. So here we have the snake. And this is all about letting go of the past, letting go of the old, letting go of old ideas, old beliefs. This is about the time where it's good to reveal a lot of your true colors and share those gifts that you have with the world. We're talking here about an energy of renewal, right? And if for whatever reason, you feel like people are not recognizing you or misread you, know that, that energy is leaving you, where you're moving towards people that are going to be able to support you more. And if you feel like someone has misunderstood you, like this person, okay? It's important to see beyond the situation and take responsibility for what you've done. And maybe after you've done that, and remember, because sometimes people say, but I already did that. Well, sometimes it takes more than once, okay? Because we're always expanding and growing and maturing. So maybe from this point of view, the Spirit is asking you, hey, do it again and see what happens. Sometimes we try to, review things from the past from our new perspective, and you'd be surprised what could happen. So, just take advantage of this time, because this is a time, Spirit saying here, look, there's an opportunity here for renewal. So take advantage of it. With the Fire Guardian here, we're talking about expressing our passionate side. And I believe that you guys have had this card before. This is all about expressing yourself, about being passionate, not being afraid to love, not being afraid to create intimacy. This is about connecting with your desires. Yeah, so this is about looking at your intentions and following through. That's awesome. I feel like you've had this card before. And then you have the Warrior. And this is about standing your grounds with what you believe to be true, but also being able to express your ideas. I think that's one of the things that sometimes you struggle with, Scorpio, where, I mean, you're such an emotional, sensitive being. I love you guys, Scorpio. I really do. But I think that sometimes you struggle with expressing your ideas. And maybe when you do, it doesn't come out right. So I think this time around with Mercury here, you're being helped. So, if you're feeling afraid, that's one of the ways of, you knowing that something matters to you. So in this case, in this situation that we're talking here, it's like, don't be afraid. I mean, of course, if you are feeling afraid, you're afraid. But just know that it's because it's important to you. And if you're feeling it, it's because you're on the verge of knowing something. So perhaps, right, that breakthrough, as you're feeling the fear, will help you understand of how you need to move forward. And if you feel that maybe it is time for you to face someone, okay? If you feel that somehow you want to face this person, Spirit is saying that they're helping you, they're guiding you. Don't be afraid, do it. Because I see you here that you're still not happy, right? So you made a choice to move forward, but you're not satisfied. So if you feel that you need to come back and make a point or talk to this person again, Spirit is saying do it. You're being helped and you will know how to handle it. Give yourself that opportunity to express yourself. With the star here, you're being guided. It's like the energy of the star. Yeah. Yeah, and this is your card in tarot. This is one of your numbers, number 8. So this is about hope. This is about, inspiration, intuition. So you have the guidance, Scorpio, to do it. You're not alone, my friend. So I don't know, whatever it is that's going on here with this person, like I said, the Spirit is saying, if you really feel that it's worth the try, do it. Even if afterwards you don't get what you would want to get. Even if the results are not what you would like to have. But just do it because it's part of your growth in this moment. It's part of your expressing or learning how to express yourself in situations like this. Which is probably something that you haven't, and it's not that you cannot express yourself, but I feel like when you're in conflict, one of the things that Scorpio tends to do, not everyone, but a lot of Scorpio, is that you go into your own world, into your own reality, and you kind of drown in there. And then when things come out, they come out off, they come out wrong. So if you decide to communicate, sometimes they can come out wrong. But what happens is that sometimes that pushes people away. So I feel like here, because of the nature of the relationship that you've had with this person, you feel like, no, I think I need to give it another try, but I just don't know how, because I don't know what to say this time around. And Spirit is saying, well, if you feel strongly about that, okay, just relax a little bit. We'll guide you, and we'll, help you move through it. But you got to relax first. And then you have to be daring, right? Make the choice. Move forward. Do it. Do it, Scorpio. And doing it this way, it will teach you to approach the situation differently. And you will see that a lot of your fears are just fears. They're not real. And I would say with the energy of this person, I don't know, in the way they're coming out here, if they're the starfish, I would say that if you want to learn something or you want to change something, this is the person that would be the right person to do it with. Because I think they would understand. I think they would be able to communicate in a way that would be satisfying, where, you know, you will understand their choice. And this, whatever conflict you're having, will end. They're talking about for you to work with hematite. So use hematite, Scorpio, in this moment, okay? Look it up in Google what it does, but work with hematite. Okay, my friends, this is all I have for you in this reading. I hope you like it. And if there's anything in particular that I didn't explain well enough, well, you can always send a question and ask. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that the most important thing above all things is to love thyself. Thank you for being here, and I will hope to see you next time.